And we are back online on the air with Lucas Zanna, listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom. And our special guest, I say guest with a S. Hopefully I got it right. Anyway, first we are still on the air with Mr. Brad Heckman, Operational General Manager for Frontside Nevada. Brad, are you still there?
I'm with you, Luca, yes.
Perfect. Meanwhile, we have also our second guest. It's also a good friend, Mr. Sam Scarmardo, and I'll introduce him in the right way after we finish with you. It's here sitting down with me. He's a gun owner. He's also, of course, he's a businessman. He's a political activist, and he's a patriot, in my opinion, because we all stand it together.
Thank you.
And I'll get you right now live. 1 second only. I want to finish. Let me put you on, so in case you want to interact with Mr. Ackman, it would be great. 1 sec, because here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Try to say something.
No, I just said thank you.
Perfect.
Being called a patriot.
Perfect. It's true. This is the time that, we need to stand together as Americans. Regardless, sometimes we have difference of opinions, minor issues, but the bottom line, we're all facing grave dangers as a country, as a nation, and that's why we're here to unite together. So anyway, Brad, before we leave, I would like, first of all, to have you back more often, if you don't mind. I think we can grab so much good information to the public, understanding the gun owners are probably the law-abiding citizens with guns are the best asset we can have to keep a society civil and, more important, free. Because remember something, it's not just about self-defense for me. I don't buy guns to hunt. I don't buy guns sometimes. I can defend myself with a 2x4 if I have to. For me, the rifle is the extension of my freedom to defend this country that when I took an oath to become an American, this is my oath. And more important, to defend my rights and my fellow American rights. So it's all together, So before we go, I know that you're also an author now. You wrote a nice book, very interesting, that I will get very soon. Tell me about your book, please. What is the name of the book and where people can find it?
Well, the book is called In the Trenches at Front Sight, and I chose that title because it's kind of the behind the scenes, all the crazy things that have happened as we have developed Front Sight. A lot of the difficulties that we had in developing the facility and some of the crazy things that happened with students and staff behind the scenes. It's a lighthearted, funny book. I have written so many technical and training manuals that, my enthusiasm for that was somewhat diminished. I really wanted to write something that was lighthearted and entertaining and put a smile on people's face. So that's what that book is all about, In the Trenches at Front Sight. It's available online at realdealpublications.com or also bradackman.com. They both go to the same website. So that's available there. And I'm almost done with my second book, which is about almost 400 pages now. See, the material just keeps coming. The longer you're in this industry, the more little anecdotes you get. So the second book is almost done. It's probably a few months away, but it's a similar theme, a lighthearted, entertaining read.
Perfect. Listen, I would like to say something. First of all, people want to find out more about you, who you are, how you look, and also the link to Frontside Nevada. They can go to lovegunsfreedom.com. I put a nice photo of you with a nice presentation and also the link to Frontside Nevada. If people also that are interested in joining Frontside, I remind everybody that I'm an ambassador member. And for example, like today, after the show, I'm going to shoot with a bunch of friends, the listeners from Lake Havasu. Just please ask me, this is my voluntarism. People say they like to share their wealth. I like to share whatever wealth I learn from others like you guys to share with fellow Americans. We shoot together and we try to keep this country strong with knowledge and freedom.
Sure.
Brad, thank you. Go ahead. Sorry.
One last comment, if I may, Luca, and that
Yes.
is Front Sight really is for everybody. It is a mainstream effort. We have courses which are very affordable. We have lifetime memberships which are equally affordable, as you know. You've referenced that a couple of times. So it's not a massively expensive undertaking to come out and take a course with us. We've made it that way so we can reach as many mainstream Americans as we possibly can. So we'd love to have your listeners come out and take a course with us at Front Sight. Obviously, frontsight.com is our website. So take a look and join us anytime.
Hey, Brad, I think I still have one birthday party that Frontside owed me. It's like, I think I can do 20 people for free, I guess, right? What is the
I think it's probably more than that. I think it's 40 people.
Wow. Okay, listen, this is going to be cool. Sam, you want to come with me to it's a free 4-day handgun class. You can leave if you want to.
I've been there. I've been there. In fact, Ellie and her girlfriend took the shotgun, the rifle, and the handgun course.
Are you a member too?
No, I think Ellie, my wife Ellie, may be.
Wow, interesting. Anyway, if maybe you want to come one more time with me, I don't know.
Go with you, sure.
Hey, guys, if you want, I have if Brad okays me, I know that I have this birthday party for 4-day handgun class I would like to take in April, not that far. The weather is beautiful. And just contact me. Go to lovegunsfreedom.com. You find my email there. It's free, 4-day handgun class. And maybe we can meet you, Brad, there, right?
That'd be great. I would like that.
And I would like to have you in the next couple of weeks if it's okay for you. Can I give you a call and we can organize? I still have another hour of questions for you today. We could even...
Understood.
Thank you, Brad. Bye-bye.
Okay, Luca, thank you for your time.
Bye-bye.
Right,
thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, now we have my local great guest. I hear weird noises.
There is weird noises.
Must be some presence in the room. Sam, nice to meet you again, my friend. Right. Sam Scamardo. Here we go. The wine went down. This is not my wine. It's somebody else's wine. Anyway, Sam Scamardo. I have an introduction for you that I took 2 hours to prepare.
Okay.
I like Sam. First of all, from Lake Havasu City. He called himself an ultra right-wing Republican. This is from his Facebook page. Okay, he's a businessman, successful businessman. He owns Sam's Shooters Emporium, and you can find also his website, samguns.com. He's a political activist in the Republican Party. Mr. Scamardo also was, in 2012, the Republican candidate for District 5 for the Arizona State Senate. He was number 2 in very close to Senator Ward. He almost made it. And, what I like about this show, not only... Look, I did a mess here today. I'm so sorry. I can't tell you what's happening here, guys. We have a big accident. Only for the people on the webcam can see, okay? Let's put it this way. I spilled some water, okay? Sorry about that. Anyway, so what will happen with Sam? I like Sam because Sam is not just the typical person that is a business owner. He means what he says. He's a gun owner. And also he's an activist, and he's a Republican guy. I'm a Republican too, and he's a precinct committeeman. But doesn't mean that we always agree on everything, but we agree on the bottom line. The bottom line that we are a country based on the sacrifice of people came before us.
You better believe it. The greatest country ever on the face of the earth.
They fought and died for leaving us the basic principle that nobody else country has. I've been around the world and I see everybody else is a subject or have just privileges. Mm-hmm. We have rights. We have a Bill of Rights. We have a Constitution. We speak the same language, even with different accents. Look at me. At the end of the day, we are Americans. And if we believe in freedom, we believe in preserving this Constitution, right now, we are brothers and sisters. So I want to shake you my hand, my friend, again.
This time we won't knock over the wine.
Don't say that word. It was
water.
Water.
Okay, we won't knock over the water.
Okay, I want to say something. I got some wine for Sam, okay, and I didn't realize that he is not into red wine. So I just have the glass here, and I'm sorry, my fault, okay? Anyway, Sam, let's talk a little bit about, since you're not running as anything right now. Are you running for any? No,
not at all. I'm running for... It's more fun to be, and the last time I was on this show with Dave and Dave, mm-hmm. I mentioned the fact that we were hunting rhinos, figuratively speaking, of course, and then State Senator Linda Binder brought charges against me that I was threatening her life. So, I'm very limited in what I can say because I don't want to get into that again because we ended up in court and she actually testified under oath that she was a rhino, IEA, and then explained that she was a Republican in name only and she was representing us as state senator.
How long ago was that?
Oh, that was probably 10, 12 years ago at least.
Wow, yeah.
10 or 12 years ago, yeah.
It's called
it was funny. First Amendment.
First Amendment.
It was overturned on the First Amendment.
If an immigrant like me understands that, she should
Certainly,
do it too. Speaking of immigrant, I like to, always fascinated when I see people with the last name that sounds familiar, like Scamardo. It doesn't sound British. It's more like Zana. Yeah. Where are you from? What is your parents? What is your history?
Well, actually, the breakdown by percentage is Irish, English, Swedish, German, Libyan, Presbyterian, Jewish.
Okay, but Scamardo, it sounds more like Italian.
Sicilian, yeah.
Sicilian. So what was your granddad or your...
My dad was a Sicilian.
So your dad was born in Italy or was born in America?
He was born in America, born in Texas, Bryan, Texas.
So was his grandfather?
Grandfather was born in Sicily.
Interesting. Okay, so it's always, because I'm the first generation here.
Sure.
I'm like your grandfather just came, and I understand the challenge, learning the language, try to simulate.
My grandmother was Libyan. So
Interesting.
Libyan Jew. So.
Interesting mix. I'm half Jew too, by the way. Yes, a Sephardic Jew. I learned that not that long ago. Anyway, listen, it's so interesting because, we're here. What I like about this country, the way it's supposed to be, we're supposed to be a melting pot.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, now they try to balkanize us, for a purpose. They want to divide us. They want to always say, hey, you are African American. Oh, you are whatever.
How about
Mexican
just an American?
Exactly.
Well, just an American. I don't consider myself an Irish American
Exactly.
or an Italian American.
I get so mad when people try to say, oh, you are Italian American. No, I'm just an American. I might have an accent. I understand that.
Certainly.
But when I came here, I gave up my Italian citizenship because I decided that I cannot put my foot in two shoes. I need to I took an oath. And the oath was very specific. You must be loyal and give away all your former allegiances. Otherwise, if I was so proud to be in Italy, nothing wrong with that. I like my pasta and my wine. I would be staying in Italy, So anyway, that's the point, and that's what I like because we all bring different things to the table. At least we're supposed to. But the idea is we are completely now under attack. And I see they try to use immigration as a weapon to destroy us from within.
Particularly in our part of the country.
Yes. So let's talk about today, I want to focus, normally my guests, when I got here, people running for office or politicians, I talk about taxes, I talk about things about freedom, individual rights, and prostitution, and whatever. Try to get different type of things.
Well, the current government is prostituting the Bill of Rights.
Exactly. So that's a good point. But today I would like to talk with you specifically about the Second Amendment, what's going on in our communities. The crime I hear is going up. At least in Kingman, I see home invasions.
A lot of crime, a lot of drug-related crime in Kingman, a little bit higher in Lake Havasu City as well.
Exactly. So you can tell a little bit what's going on, and also your personal opinion on the state of affairs of our country, the danger that we are facing. I know you're a pretty smart guy that he knows more than he says on many issues. And also, what can we do as a community to start to try to be proactive? And for people that they are new to guns, they maybe finally something in their brain start to go light. They want to buy the first gun. I think you're the guy because you also yourself. How many years did you have your shop? 7?
Well, this is the 5th shop I've had. I was legislated out of business in Illinois 4 times by the expanding influence of. Then he was the county supervisor in Cook County, Michael. I think it was Michael Madigan. Madigan was his last name. I know that, and he's rabidly anti-gun. And Chicago is. Illinois per se is the last state in the union that doesn't have or didn't have a concealed carry permit available regardless. Even if you were carrying bags full of diamonds, you couldn't get a CCW or a CWP. Now they're doing it in Illinois, but the legislature in Illinois has thrown such roadblocks up. It's incredible. It's a 2 or 3 day, 40-hour class, and you still can only carry 7 rounds or 10 rounds depending on the gun in your on your person or in your environ, and we put up with that in Illinois. We had what was called a FOID card, firearms owner ID card. You couldn't buy ammunition if it was for a handgun without a FOID card.
Wow.
You could always buy rifle ammunition. You couldn't buy.
So when did you move to Arizona? When you
25 years ago.
So you're pretty much like a long time. Yeah. And how long did you have this Sam Emporium shooter shop?
We've had it for 13 years.
Okay. Also, by the way, I remember one time.
We have a second one too, up in White Hills.
Yes, I heard about it. We'll talk about that too.
Yeah.
I remember I went one time, was still new in the state. I'm a refugee from California.
Sure.
My first landing spot from Italy. And it was my second Glock. People say never forget your first gun. I never forget any guns, but I remember I bought from you my second Glock 17, and you also put for me it was my first time my Glock with the night sights.
Tritium night sights.
Yes, you were putting it for me. I was very happy with that. I still have it, by the way.
Great guns. I mean, they never fail. We carry $22,000 worth of spare parts and never use them.
Exactly.
Everybody's an armor. We never fix anything on Glocks.
And that's what I like to talk to you, because today we will talk about little practical things, People,
Sure.
For example, I have friends, newcomers. We have a lot of newcomers, by the way, from other states, They're coming, live in New Jersey or Illinois.
God help them.
Exactly. And they really understand what's going on. And that's why I welcome people like that. They're going to join the ranks and trying to help us out in defending our state and our rights. And, for example, just a few days ago, I had a friend that I just met. She moved from New Jersey. And she asked me, what gun would you suggest? And if you're serious to start to practice, normally people would say, okay, start with a revolver. It's a great thing. But if you have to have one gun only in my life, if they tell me you can buy only one gun, that's your money, that's your budget, that's it.
Yeah.
I would stick this is my personal opinion, of course, with the Glock 17.
Glock 17.
Because
Ammunition's cheap. The guns last forever.
It's almost like a revolver because you don't have any type of safety. It's pretty easy. The
Well, that's the
control.
trigger safety. Don't say
Yeah,
it doesn't
no,
have a safety.
you're
on it.
right.
It does
You're
have the
right.
trigger
It's a
safety
very
on it.
internal safety.
It's you have to intentionally be pulling the trigger to fire the gun.
But it's not like this sort of external
No, there's not an external safety
Exactly.
lever of any kind.
that you got under stress. You got completely. You may forget if you don't train enough.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I don't want to get private. You can always say no. What is your gun that you carry? What is your
A 1911 Colt.
Okay, so you're like a 1911 type of guy.
Been carrying one for 40 years.
Okay. So that's your gun. Good.
And I carry concealment Walther PPK.
Okay. And the beautiful thing I know they also offer concealed weapon classes, right?
Yes, we do. We have one going on right now, as a matter of fact. Ellie's teaching one right now.
Okay, now so before I forget, I don't want to get in trouble here because sometimes I get excited, I forget. I have sponsor to mention. Okay, just 1 second. First of all, we already heard the spot. We have Colorado River Vapor on 4400 South Highway 95, Suite C. Is a friend, by the way, Tom Sanford and his lovely wife, gun owners, and they have this great new business is flourishing. We are very happy and thank you for the support. As we say, we couldn't be here without you, and more important, we're here not like the government. We don't demand. We politely ask for your help, okay? Then we have another great gun shop, MP Guns. It's on Fort Mojave in front of Maverick. And let me say slower because I always go too fast. The phone number is 928-444-5905. Call, ask for Neil, and say Lucas sent you, okay? So these are...
They supported me in the election.
Good, I'm glad. Very good. Now, first of all, you know what? You're here, and I appreciate your time. It's Sunday. You got family. You work so hard during the week. And for me to come here, I really appreciate that. I have questions for you, but I want to give what do you want to talk about? Give me one topic.
Well, you asked me to talk about the Second Amendment. I don't know if a lot of people are familiar with it, but it's a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of the state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. I mean, that's as simple as it gets. That's the speech I gave at the Tea Party rally we had 6 or 8 weeks ago in Lake Havasu City at the Aquatic Center. And it gets down to the bottom line, and you can quote cliches forever regarding gun ownership, but the Second Amendment is the one that actually protects the rest of the amendments in the Bill of Rights and afterward. You only have one that protects yourself from an onerous government, and that's where we're at right now. Is we're on the verge of an onerous dictatorial government, I believe.
Yeah, I believe that too, by the way. And let's talk also about this because this is not a movie. I know, by the way, you like Red Dawn, right?
Yeah.
I know that. I read about that. I like that
the
too.
old one.
Yeah, the old one is better.
The old one's better. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this is not a movie, but it's looking more and more like a bad movie because sometimes there is an expression. I think it was from Mrs. Rand. Anyway, you can ignore reality. You can. It's your freedom. Use your choice.
Sure.
You're being stupid. It's your
We're a free
right.
country.
But
you want to be stupid? Be stupid.
You cannot ignore consequences of reality. Sooner or later, they're gonna come and get you. That's the bottom line. And I said that a few times. One of the reasons why I'm on this show, it is not because I really have any type of ambitions to become a radio personality, because my duty as a fellow American is trying to wake up our community, or whoever is listening to us, with information of things that are happening, and at least we have a chance to prepare and trying to avoid and to stop what's coming. Now, we were talking before during the break. If any people doesn't understand what's happening in Washington, I don't even want to discuss about that because it's a waste of time, okay?
One thing you need to discuss is this
Yes.
government is so rabidly anti-gun, and it's not because they're worried about reducing crime whatsoever, because if you look at the locations in this country where the most rabid anti-gun regulations and restrictions are, they're the places with the highest crime rate. And Obama will, I'm trying to find a terminology that they'll allow on the radio,
FCC.
will violate the Constitution
Yes.
in every way he possibly can. And every one of his appointments, none of them are qualified. He's in the midst of attempting to appoint a Surgeon General who his only qualifications is that he's rabidly anti-gun.
Okay, question though, because I'm very fair. I am. I don't even call him president, by the way. People knows
No,
about
I don't
it.
either.
Till I don't see the documents he's supposed to prove. Okay, number one, and that's the bottom line. But before that, I try to be always very fair, because I believe that this didn't happen just with Obama. It was a process started way before Obama, And for example, are you familiar with the National Defense Authorization Act?
Sure, absolutely.
So you know what happened. We are now before pre-Magna Carta. The king
Correct.
can get us and throw any one of us just because suspected with no due process in jail and with indefinitely detention. This is something that before King George, this was way people. If no one understand that, this is scary for me. I can understand all the other BS that we can talk about, but when we come down to this, we should unite as American. I don't care if you're Republican, Libertarian, or Democrats. We should all understand this danger that we are facing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but my question is this: the National Defense Authorization Act. It was just almost the apotheosis, the tip of the final pile of garbage that we have.
Right.
We started with let's start just with Bush before, with the famous Patriot Act, that we know there's nothing patriotic about it, and the government had completely an overreach over the due process and our Constitution. So, we are Republicans, but our duty, I think, I'm speaking for myself, and
I'm an American first.
Exactly,
I'm a
American.
conservative and American, and Republican only last. And I'm so disappointed in our party leadership right now. I may be an independent next go round.
And that's my point. I still stick with the party for one reason, because it's our duty. Let's say somebody break into our home, okay?
Sure.
And trying to eat our food and start to sleep with your wife and say, buddy, when they say this is my home.
You mean when SHTF?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is our, let's say, if that platform to have our philosophy, we're talking about economics, talking about freedom and Constitution.
Correct.
That we believe, or at least we're supposed to believe as a platform, it would be taken over by an enemy that at the top level we know in Washington is controlled. I think it's our duty as party members to go back into the fight, get our hands dirty, and kick him out. Because
I'll never not be a registered Republican. Yeah. I've never voted for a Democrat in my life. I've withheld my vote from a couple, when I thought the Democrat was a marginally better candidate because of the last, in my generation, I'm older than you are. In my generation, the Republican Party stood for being conservative.
Yes.
And right now, if the conservative aspect of the Republican Party has moved so far to the left that it's moderate, progressive at best, and the progressive Democrats have moved so far to the left that they're one step short of Marxism.
Yes, and this is a plan that I learned this in the last few years. It is more than just Republican, Democrats. It's almost sometimes a little wrestling match to try to get us. At the end of the day, you see, especially at the top level, they work for the same masters.
Absolutely, without a question of a doubt.
So that's what we're facing. But
the term limits has to come up first of all. When we finally get control of our government, God bless America, we finally get control of our government, then it's time to issue term limits. These guys that get in here and stay in the Congress for 30 terms, they finally roll them out in a wheelbarrow when they're 85 years old, and all they've done is raped and pillaged the Constitution for their own personal gain.
Exactly. Now, I like to also be proactive. That means, first of all, we need to understand the problem. If you don't know there is a problem, we're never going to fix it.
You have to educate yourself.
Exactly. When we understand that both parties, they've been taken over, and then people can find out their own reasons, because I came to the conclusion that this is something happened a long time ago. Like Europe is the first part of the puzzle, the destruction of sovereignty, the destruction of individualism, the destruction of freedom, and leveling everybody into this sort of global government. And the first puzzle was creation of European community that I witnessed with my own eyes since I was a child. The brainwashing.
We go to Europe every day, every year.
Yeah, so you know that. Yeah. Now we are next to go. We are the final last part of the equation that needs to go down to create this sort of a global government. Are you aware of the global government or New World Order?
Oh, certainly, absolutely. The New World Order. Are you talking a religious aspect or a political aspect?
It's both. I think it's connected for some reason.
Absolutely. Ezekiel 38, Ezekiel 39. We're there.
Yeah.
We're on the doorstep right now, and I consider myself a Christian. I'll do whatever I can to help anybody, but of course my family comes first.
Yes. So that's the point. When we understand the big picture, understand also what's happening, I believe that we still have the duty to do something, because we don't want to just be passive. We need to have the instinct to defend life and freedom in our country and our neighbors and friends. So, and we live in Mojave County. I think it's a great place compared to the rest of the world. Compared to Europe or compared even to Illinois or other states like New Jersey or New York. So we have really something that I could even find in my dreams anywhere else. Now we can go to the shop, buy almost any guns we want. Besides, we go into the full out. By the way, you are also Class 3A, right?
Yes, we're Class 3. We're
Three.
Title 2, Class 3. We manufacture machine guns and silencers. Machine guns can't be transferred if they're manufactured
Yeah.
after 86, but you can buy silencers and short barrel rifles, short barrel shotguns.
For the, let's say, the average person that doesn't want to go into the world of the Class 3, we can buy pretty much every gun we
Everything.
want without any type of permit. It means all you have to do is a background check over the phone, unless you have
Exactly
a
right.
CCW,
You got a
correct?
concealed weapons permit. There's no background check. You're already cleared for the next 5 years by the FBI and the NICS. So you can purchase the firearms and you're in and out. I always get a chuckle when people that just moved here and become Arizona citizens say, "What's your waiting period?" I say, 3-4 minutes. That's your waiting period in
Yeah.
Arizona. Very rarely we get a delay. We do, and very, very rarely we get it denied, because most of the people that know they're going to be denied will purchase their firearms elsewhere in the black market.
By the way, I like what you just said, Arizona citizens, because we forget the Constitution and these United States, when we were created, and the states created the Union,
That's
created
exactly
the
right.
federal government. We used to be citizen of the state.
Of the state.
And you
the
are-
Senate was appointed. Senators, if the federal senators were appointed by the state.
Exactly.
They
And
were
I-
not elected in sham elections.
And that's why I like knowledge. I see Sam, he knows a lot. Sometimes, we never really, we go to meetings together. Sometimes, I know your different district, so you're like ours, so I sit down differently. And we never really have a chance to speak too much. But I like to start to this show what I like. I meet people and I go,
Well, you're
To
a
know-
guest. You're a guest speaker at our Republican Men's Club, aren't you? In the next week or two.
they told me in May.
in May. I think they got you on the schedule for next month.
Maybe, I don't know. I need to find out.
I'll let
then.
you know.
Thank
I'll
you.
let you know.
Thank you.
I'll
But
let you know
anyway,
Tuesday.
so that's great. But now I always say, okay, when we know what's going on, we can just say, go back to sleep. We got to prepare. I really am. I'm not paranoid, but I need to do everything I can as a regular guy to start to say, I want to do my part. One thing, for example, I always say, we need to start to know each other better. Because at the end of the day, I don't care if you're libertarian. I don't care if you're independent. I don't care if you're a different type of Republicans. If we believe that we are not slaves, we have all some inalienable rights. Among these, our Bill of Rights.
Correct.
And we are facing a moment that this is worse than a bad movie.
This country is on the threshold of a horrible movie.
Yeah. And now you tell me a little more about that, because that's I have some ideas of what could happen, but you tell me what you think. Because first of all, you tell me why, in your opinion, we have an agreement, official FEMA website, as a special agreement with the Russian troops
Exactly, and the Chinese troops.
and the Chinese troops in case there is an emergency. And now everything can be an emergency. Also,
Certainly, an emergency would be if Barack Obama or the Democrats lose the Senate in this year, or
Economic.
Yeah, I've got to tell you something. I'm a strong believer that BHO is going to cook up one of his famous emergencies or disasters, and I don't think he's going to go willingly from the White House. It's my own personal belief. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But he's violated the Constitution everywhere else. So what is something silly like 2 terms as president that you have to do with the Constitution? Correct.
So we are facing the type of danger that we're going to be really like some sort of a potential red dawn. Now, let's not forget this domestic army that he was talking during the first election.
Sure.
I mean, we have now official documents. People used to laugh at us a few months ago. It's Homeland Security has purchased more than 2 billion rounds of hollow
it's over
point.
4 billion.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I was
over
lying.
4 billion. What does the Social Security need with 600,000 rounds of 40 hollow points?
And the USPS.
The United States Postal Service. They have like 100 postal inspectors coast to coast. What do they need millions of rounds of ammunition for?
And now these sniper rounds that they just got a contract,
It's
150,000
creeping
rounds.
me out. I mean, the whole thing creeps me out every day. I'm almost afraid to read the news every day, and then read the alternative news.
I understand.
I'm not a black helicopter paranoid, but I have to tell you, the stuff that's going on right now in this country, and the leadership we have, or lack thereof.
Yeah.
We have no leadership in this country right now.
Well, I think we do, but it's called a Trojan horse.
Trojan horse.
Yeah,
That would work, yeah.
they're doing the job. They're doing.
Obama and his crew, they have an agenda.
Yes.
I've yet to figure out exactly what it is, but this couldn't. Marxism has failed world over. Why would it work any better here in the greatest industrial driving force in history?
Marxism was created by the banks, international bankers, to destroy the competition, because that's official documents. So Karl Marx was founded by English and New York banks the family that also controlled the central banks. And the idea wasn't just to redistribute wealth, was to destroy the competition. Like, for example, if you see now, I know you've been in China, probably,
Yeah.
there are 3,000 members in China that they control the China, and they live in complete wealth. They have another class.
Absolutely.
And then the poor.
And the Russians are the same. The Russian leaders, they retired to their dachas in the country on the weekend. Well, the common man and woman in the Soviet, the former Soviet Union and the Russian Federation now, they're still peasants. Nothing's changed in 100 years in Russia.
And that's what I feel sorry for the useful idiots, because even if I believe it's completely immoral to steal and rob and cap the desire to succeed from somebody else, to give it to somebody else, that's not a role of government. But let's say for a moment that you really think that's not for you guys. We're all gonna be slaves. The idea is the Marxism or socialism, that is another level of shade of this garbage. It is not about to share with you. It is just to cap us all in poverty and slavery.
Once you're disarmed.
Exactly.
Hitler did it. Mao Zedong did it. Joseph Stalin did it. Thank you very much.
Exactly. Tell me about China. I read about you that you went to China, and you tell me why, what happened, and then you got arrested.
Yeah,
for a day.
I got arrested in China. I was in jail for a day and a half, almost 2 days. And this is why I'm convinced. I'll tell you that I'm convinced that China will never be the overwhelming economy in the world. Their currency is failing again, just like everywhere else in the world. So, at any rate, we were traveled and we won one of these tours at Safari Club, like a 3-week tour. So we went to Mongolia and then took the train ride to Lhasa, Tibet, and then went all over, saw the panda bears, did everything else that was that the tourists do. And we were getting ready to fly out of the country, and I had a keychain with a 30-06 cartridge that had holes drilled in it. And it was just a keychain, and normally I take it off and throw it out, but it had the luggage keys on it. And they grabbed me and at the Shanghai airport, leaving the country with this cartridge, and arrested me for smuggling ammunition into the country.
Wow, that's a serious stuff.
It's serious. It's 10
like
years. I'm a Chinese felon for another 2 months or something to that effect. Let's see, May I'll cease to be a Chinese felon. But they arrested me, and they put me in their brand new Shanghai jail, which they immediately, when they found out I was a cop, they took me back out to the ready room, and they assigned me my own translator. And
did you have to get a lawyer?
No, not at all. The embassy called me. Ellie called the embassy, and they called me up, and I just had to stand trial. So their judge finally came in, British accent, Oriental, probably educated in Oxford. He came in and said, well, how do we know that you're not smuggling ammunition to the terrorists?
On top, you are again
shop. And I said, well, I thought this was utopia. I didn't know that they had terrorists and prostitutes here. And he chastised me for that. And then I had to go get my fingerprints done. And the great Chinese futuristic marvel, they didn't know you had to peel the little protector off the digital fingerprint thing. So I had to do my own fingerprints and do my own digital photograph. And I would pay serious money for that file because it was a great picture of me.
Wow.
The face forward and left and right profile, all with Sam Scamardo spelled wrong in Chinese characters.
My God.
And finally, when they were over and done with, and they didn't have any place for me to stay, so they took me to the 4-star Shanghai hotel at the airport, which when it was all over and done with, after staying there 2 nights and they fed me about 6 meals, they fined me $13.44.
I want to get arrested too in China then. That's pretty neat.
Well, this was 200 yuan, which at that time rate of exchange was $13.44. I'm thinking to myself, they spent $2,000 or $3,000 to try me and house me and feed me.
You got lucky anyway. You know that. Many people.
Oh, I didn't like it. Ellie was terrified. She's having visions of. They threw her out of the country.
Oh my God, that's
all of this over a
nightmare.
keychain. Amazing.
You're laughing now, but it's not serious. Honestly, there are a few places in the world that honestly I don't even want to go anymore crossing the state.
No.
I'm really like to be in Arizona, and I hate to go to the airports. I hate to be sexually abused by these TSA and to get all this because
bunch of amateurs with the TSA anyway.
Yeah, on top
there's no law enforcement background with these people.
Hey, it's a scam. The borders are wide open.
You better believe it.
Yeah, the borders.
They worry about some 90-year-old lady going to blow up an airplane, and we've got 15% of a sovereign nation in our country illegally when the number one number one duty of the federal government is to protect against foreign invasion. If 1/6 of the population of another country is in this country, and that's not a foreign invasion, I don't know what is.
By the way, I really believe that you're a domestic terrorist, and of course, me too. We are together in this one, because according to the 72 signs, you can be a domestic terrorist, and probably you already read that.
Yeah.
It's
You and I are number one to get arrested.
you know, I mean, you believe in the Constitution, right?
That's the
Okay.
ruling guide this country runs by. Like the Bible is my own ruling
Okay,
guide.
so you're also a Christian.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Then you believe in freedom.
Yep.
You believe in sovereignty. I mean, like a nation with borders, stuff
Yep.
like that. Okay. Very bad concept, borders.
Yeah,
Then-
borders. Yeah, we should just be an open country and let everybody else who can't feed themselves.
Then you believe
Come
that
here.
communism is bad, probably.
Yes.
What else? And you're not veterans, right?
Not for this
No.
army.
Okay. Okay. So you got already there a lot of bad things according to this. By the way, I would like to remind the listeners, this is just didn't happen with Obama, please, because I don't want to start to sound like, oh, Bush was great.
No.
This is also with Clinton and Bush
And then
father.
Bush the first.
It's a plan. Now, of course, hell is start to really, you can see it and smell it because it's coming to our face.
And it's a bad smell.
Exactly. Now, I have a song for you, okay? Your fellow patriots, and hopefully we can diffuse it. Hopefully we can avoid it. But there is a line in the sand that we will talk after this that I pledge myself as an American and a citizen of Arizona that I will never let that happen. And I will tell you about my line in the sand. Meanwhile, I have a song that I wrote for the new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom, that I gave you a copy. Hopefully you like it. And the song is called The Line in the Sand. Words and music by Luca Zanna. NSA, I'm sure you're listening. Enjoy it.
If you love wealth better than liberty, the tranquility of servitude than the animated contest of freedom, go from us in peace. We ask not your counsels or arms. Crouch down and lick the hands which feed you. May your chains sit lightly upon you, and may posterity forget that you were our countrymen. The line in the sand, you know the time is coming. The line in the sand, are you going to watch while we're fighting? The line in the sand, just tell me now where you're going to stand. How much more you gonna take it? How much more you gonna fake it? Now you decide what you'll do when they come. They'll come for you. Seconds before midnight.
Playing backup?
What do you sing?
Was that Eric Clapton playing backup?
No, I wish. I like my guitar guy. It's pretty good. Yes, we have a few seconds before midnight, and you can laugh at me, whatever. But if you don't smell it, I'm sorry. I'm going to move on and talk to other people because it's happening. It's happening.
I tell you what, everybody worried about the nuclear clock. I worry about the Constitution clock. And as you said, we're seconds away from midnight.
I agree. And that's why we're here, because the point is, for example, today, I like to put in practice things. We, first of all, take knowledge, share the knowledge that we know with other fellow people. Maybe today they may laugh. Hopefully we put a seed into them, and tomorrow they can start to wake
Get
up.
smart. Knowledge is power.
Exactly. Followed by action, though, because then when we have all this knowledge, say, okay, what do? We need to be proactive. First of all, I believe that we should be better neighbors, because being better neighbors means we have a stronger community, that we're law-abiding citizens, and then we can start to help each other in different parts of our life. because before even the Chinese arrives, I'm more afraid about people from our supposed government start to come on our properties, in our lives. And I will give you some very specific scenarios because I visualize those, and visualization is important. For example, I think I already know, but I don't want to assume because I don't want to talk for you, okay? What if tomorrow federal government says the state of Arizona must enforce the same type of gun registration like right now it's happening in, for example, Connecticut? Would you comply?
No.
Okay, good. So shake
Not
my
at
hand.
all. Absolutely.
You're
I
my
would not
brother.
comply because it's violating the Constitution, Second Amendment of the Constitution.
And that's a very serious matter because I understand this is not a movie. This is not a game. The moment that we decide...
This is real life.
Real life.
And survival.
And you know, you are a guy that work all your life, put together your family, and put together your business. And, you know, I did my part with my best, came here with nothing, trying to put my business together. And it's not like we have nothing to lose. We lose, but the point, our dignity, our freedom, for me, is more important than any type of things.
It's corny, but I'll tell you what, I'd rather die a free man than live as a slave.
So that's why I like about this, and that for me puts everything else on the side. We are here, we stand on this basic principle. We are not your slave. We are free Americans. We are citizens of the state of Arizona, and we are not going to bow down as slaves for you. Now, number two, this is the gun issue. Fine. It's pretty much black and white. After all, we're doing love, guns, and freedom here. Now, talking about property rights, for example, I live on property, rural property. I have a well, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Pure water, beautiful. And I already know that many parts of the country, states, and even I think in Phoenix, they've been trying. Now the government, the federal government, through infiltrating the local government or the state government, they want to start to control how much water you can drink, called meter.
Right.
You have a well, or you live on a...
Oh, we're on city water, but I have 112,000 gallons of water in my backyard.
Okay, my God. So anyway, the point they can control... I say
it's called a swimming pool.
Swimming pool, beautiful. Yeah. But anyway, I said that no, I will, for me, I put a C guns. Okay, if you come, try to come on my property to put some sort of control over my well, I refuse it. Now, another line in the sand. Tomorrow, let's say, I don't have kids, okay? But
mine are grown. My kids are probably as old as you are.
Oh my God! How many kids do you have?
3.
And what is the oldest?
49.
I couldn't.
You better bleep that one. Beep, bleep, bleep.
I didn't bleep. I didn't say anything. Okay. I'm 46. Okay. I say fun. I say fun. Okay. And my point is, wow, you could be my dad. Wow, interesting. You look younger, by the way. But my point is, there is now already some states that they mandatory do vaccination. For example, New York just recently they did vaccination mandatory for flu shots. And I believe that regardless, I don't want to go into the debate or is right or wrong or whatever it is. The point that the family, the father and the mother, supposed to be the final authority to decide if my son should get that flu shot.
Right.
So that for me not the line in the sand.
For example, Ellie won't get flu shots. I get flu shots.
Okay, but that's your choice,
Sure.
And if you have a kid, you are the one deciding,
that's
not
exactly
the government.
So, the only inoculation, and I was in a different military. I wasn't in the United States military. But you have to get shots, and we had to get numerous inoculations. I would worry, even though it's been exterminated on Earth. I would worry about things like smallpox.
Okay.
I think everybody should be inoculated against smallpox because it's one of the easiest things to weaponize, and this might be a little bit of black helicopter paranoia. I think that there's a distinct possibility they would use that against us. A foreign national military, or our own government.
Sam, but if you choose to get your smallpox. By the way, I got it too when I was in Italy. It was still a few years.
Smallpox inoculations.
But the point, you are safe. You got your smallpox, okay?
Right.
Let's say I'm an idiot and I don't want to get it, okay? You shouldn't be bothered by me because at the end of the day, you are safe. You got your... So it is my... since I believe that property, it's freedom, and the first property we all own, even if you're poor, it's your body, okay?
That's exactly right.
And I believe that...
God-given.
Exactly. So I should have the right to be stupid, especially if I don't infringe on other people's rights, because I'm not in danger. You're safe. You got your smallpox vaccine. I should not be forced by anybody.
No, not at all.
Now where it's coming. They're trying to do that mandatory and more. So line in the sand, that's what I'm saying. As a community, we need to start to visualize things that may happen. They are no more just now a bunch of stories that we heard 20 years ago. All's happening real. And what is your solution as a community? What would be what should we do to start to organize, get together? I mean, even just have a plan. What is your input?
Well, lacking any military, any even remote hint of anti-government sentiments right here. I think you need to meet your neighbors, meet your fellow citizens of Arizona. And I do believe that it's much more important because the original founding fathers wanted an extremely weak central government responsible for providing for the common defense, and that was it, basically. Yes. The states are what should be in charge of, and they controlled by the patriots and the citizens thereof. But I think what you need to do is you need to talk to your people that are like-minded. You offer whatever education you can, whatever skills you can. You're capable of offering, and if people are non-receptive or they're waiting for Big Brother to feed them, clothe them, educate them, medicate them, then they're the fools.
And also, I really believe in the role of the sheriff. I had here a Sheriff Mack, that you're familiar with that. It was a very historical person. He won a Supreme Court case during the Clinton administration that pretty much reminded to the federal government the powers of the sheriff.
Right.
And reminded also that we have a 10th Amendment, and every sheriff should be supported by the people if the sheriff, of course, understand the role.
This is a pre-Magna Carta position.
Exactly.
The sheriff, in fact, it goes back to the Middle Ages, a sharif.
Exactly. And that's why, especially the sheriff, sometimes needs help too, because, it's a human being, and they need to see that the community is informed and is ready to share together this line in the sand, because the sheriff may want to do the right thing, but sometimes say, wait a second, nobody gives a damn about this. Maybe I should, we should remind them, try to educate them, or try to say, I'm here, I am a regular mom, I'm a regular pop,
right,
but I'll be standing with you for our rights. That's, for me, the most powerful things we can do.
Posse comitatus.
Yes, and by the way, it's been repealed. Now we have the posse comitatus being repealed since that was during Bush, by the way. But now, finally, we have army that can be used to arrest citizens. That's the bottom line.
So they say.
So they say. But we're here, and we hope to. Let's talk a little bit about politics, okay? And this is not something about bad grudges or something. But you are now a constituent. You also ran as a state senator.
Correct. In fact, as a U.S. congressman about 17 or 18 years ago.
Okay, so you ran against Senator Ward, and now she's our state senator.
Right.
And you had your differences during the campaign. Now you can start to judge, or at least, let's say, share your opinion about facts, okay? First of all, are you happy so far what Senator Ward has been doing?
On the big votes.
On the big votes?
On the big important votes, and she's taking counsel the way she should. What just tickles me pink. The big votes is what's really important anyway. It tends to water down some of the little votes.
Tell me the things that you're not happy about it.
Specifics, I don't know, without firing up my iPad.
Okay.
I don't run files on people and maintain it. I keep the stuff in the back of my head. There's several votes that she's watered down a little bit. So is Sonny. Sonny's a good friend of mine, Sonny Borelli.
Yeah.
He did this compromising. Why should you compromise from a position of strength? Why should you give up a position that's correct, authorized by law, and then just negotiate with the progressive left-wingers? It's ridiculous.
One specific topic that you may come to your mind about, I don't know, something that we are compromising with the left wing. What is the topic, for example, that...
Well, you saw what happened to so many of our Republican legislators in the House, the Arizona House, when it came to, 15 of them jumped ship to line up with the Democrats to get into the health care issue here, to get into the exchange. We should have just blown that exchange off from day one.
That's the reason, by the way. For me, I said, I'm always straightforward, and mostly the most hard core when it comes down to criticize Republicans, because I don't expect from the other side they're doing their job. That is, I guess, my principle, of course, but at least I have more respect because I know it's on the other side.
Sure.
When I have somebody like, for example, Representative Goodale, that's supposed to stand for the principle that we agree on the platform, and she sells out with Brewer, I lose all the respect. And as much as I'm still polite, I'm a civil person, I really completely speak up my mind, and you know that I'm not shy about it.
Her and her her and her late husband Bill were good friends of ours for years, and we're still friends. You know?
Me too.
I disagree with her. I disagree with everybody, and I hope that when push comes to shove, she's going to be a conservative she claims to be.
Listen, at personal level, I love her and I pray for her and I wish the best. But politically, that's for me not like a regular little scene. We don't need to agree on everything, okay?
Yeah.
There's gonna be things that, of course, it's not gonna be 100% perfect, but they're like mortal sins. If you tell me that you supporting,
you fail your constituency.
that's for me like the Second Amendment, okay?
Yeah.
If you touch me and you side with the Obamacare, we're not.
Forget it.
There's nothing more to say. I
Right.
wish you the best. Enjoy your retirement. Enjoy your family.
It's just like Obama, you know. I hope he lives a long and happy life, and it's out of public service and out of $50,000 an hour speaking gigs.
Yes, Sam. If people wants to, let's say, meet you, where can they find you? You know, you have a shop in Havasu. Give it the
I've got
direction.
the one that's 2183 McCullough, a couple doors down from Macoma and McCullough, Main Street, the street that the bridge is on for people wandering through. I'm there part of almost every day. A couple days a week I spend up at my store in White Hills.
You have a new store in White Hills, right?
White Hills, yeah. It's right now it's just a machine gun range and $12 hamburgers and $11 chicken sandwiches, and
Wow.
you can buy lotto tickets and have a lot of fun there.
That's fine. It sounds great. So, and you can go there, shoot a real machine gun.
Shoot lots of machine guns. We have machine guns and primarily submachine guns and at the store in Lake Havasu City. We have the big heavies up to 50 caliber and Barretts, and we've got a bunch of Russian anti-aircraft guns coming online Tuesday or Wednesday.
Well, you know what I would like to do? Once in a while, I go to Las Vegas for business.
Yeah.
Maybe if you tell me when you're there, I would like to come there, maybe take a little video of what you're doing there. I have a website. People go there, check it out, and maybe shoot a machine gun. I would love that.
Absolutely. And bring your camera along, and we'll film
Yeah.
it for you. We've got video camera and regular cameras there, too. We'd love to have you up there. Let me know when you're going through, and I'll meet you up there.
Okay, it's time to go. Thank you, Sam.